Hello and welcome to this Jane's Weather Update. It is a Friday, the 1st of November. Welcome to November, and as usual, there is a little bit going on. We have had activity in southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales. Those storms have now moved out to sea as it is the new day. We've got onshore showers coming into the east coast here. There's a little bit of activity in the southeast, but what we are noticing is the chill in the air, and there's a large high pressure system over the bight here. There is a lot of tropical activity that is now happening, so it's that time of year we expect to see showers and thunderstorms day after day in that northern quarter now until we move into about March or April next year. All right, let's take a look at the recent rainfall, and here we notice that southeast Queensland got a lot, the northeastern corner of New South Wales got a lot, and that last system that I said would move further inland did, so it moved all the way in through to here. There has been nothing really across the south, so there's no connection up to that tropical moisture. Without that connection, we can't get any decent rainfall. So that's what's happened over the past week. It's at the western coast of Tasmania, and that is about it. All right, having a look at the current pressure pattern, there's our high pressure system that is sitting over the bight there. What that means is winds come here, they're a southerly as they move through the eastern states, they warm up as they cross the bight, and then they are hot as they come down into the southwest. Now the troughs that are there are just moving inland, and that means the cooler, the milder air can come in too, so the heat is contracting inland ahead of the next system that is coming through. Here we have a cold front that's come up, that is the classic pattern for snow in the Alps in Tasmania, and just making it to the very highest peaks in the mainland there. The rest of us see a bit of a chill. Trough that is extending down in through here, southeast Queensland, still in that danger zone for showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. But in New South Wales, along the coast there, it's all that murky low cloud and just light showers that come in. Okay, let's have a look at the 8-day totals. Let's move to this one here. We've got rain total. We're through to Friday, 11 p.m. So it is the next week that we're looking at here. We've got all of this activity over southeast Queensland. That's just going to keep on coming. So we'll get, whenever a trough comes nearby and strengthens and has the energy from a system in the south, then yes, we'll get showers and thunderstorms. And that works for northeast New South Wales as well. We will get some activity along the coast there. Having a look at this one here, there is the chance that we will make some sort of connection down into the south, but where it goes is not clear cut yet, and I'll show you why in just a second. There's not huge falls for the southwest, but we are moving into November, so we're expecting less of that coming through there. But this one in through here is a bit of a question mark. Let's go day by day. So I'll just pop this back here. Here we are, Friday. So this is where you can keep your eye on what the date is here. So this is for Friday. All of that activity up across the north there. We've got showers and severe thunderstorms in southeast Queensland. We've got onshore showers for the east coast there for New South Wales. There's hardly anything in the southeast. The high pressure system is sitting here, and it is dry over in the west. So that is for Friday. Let's have a look at Saturday. Again, southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales. Bit of activity in through here. Nothing in the southeast. In fact, it's warming up. There's our activity across the north. This one is coming into the southwest. It does not have big falls with that. There's no connection to tropical moisture. And we're just seeing this in through here. So this here is something to keep your eye on. I'm going from the tropics there. You can sort of see something that's coming through into the south, but it's a very weak connection. So let's go through into Sunday. Very weak connection. So it hits the coast here and not much as you head north of the ranges. We've got that little bit of tropical connection, but it'll be like the last one 2 days ago where it was patchy rain. It was very light. It was very high-based thunderstorms that don't bring very much wet weather with them when they come through. Okay, so this is for Sunday. Still some activity here, but not what we're seeing here on Saturday, so that is a reduction in that one. We've got this moving across the southeast. It's a wind change, and there's just a little bit of wet weather with it, thanks to that lack of tropical connection. This one coming across the west, not into the southwest on Sunday. Okay, heading into Monday, that starts to move northwards, so we'll see this activity ramp up again. So there's Monday, there's Tuesday, and there's Wednesday. So that's the activity that moves in. Thanks to that system moving across the southeast, the energy from that meets up from the Pacific moisture, and you end up with showers and thunderstorms in that hot zone there. All right, heading into Sunday, let's go Monday. Here is a little bit of a connection. Again, not really making it through. Heading into Tuesday. There we go. We're starting to see some sort of connection that's coming in through that one. Looks like South Australia is likely to do the best out of this. There is some activity in the southwest. Not heavy falls, but a little bit better than the one we saw on the weekend. And heading into Wednesday, this comes down here. And again, it kind of peters out as it moves into the southeast because there isn't a strong connection up into the north with the system that is coming through. So that's what we've got on the horizon. What does that look like as the week as a whole? So this here is our precipitation, and we're looking at being drier than what you would normally expect at this time of year all through these eastern parts. Here is that connection that comes down. It hits South Australia. It may just come into western parts of Victoria. We'll see. It's more at the end of next week, and it's if we can get that connection up to the tropics. You have seen week after week after week that these models project that connection coming through, and then by the time we actually get there, there isn't really that much with it, except for those occasional ones that did actually make that connection. So we don't know yet whether that connection is going to be made. Again, looking fairly drier than average in the southwest. Okay, so that's the precipitation for week 1, which is next week, starting the 4th of November on the Monday. Let's have a look at the temperature that goes with that. Warm, hot, much warmer than average all through these eastern areas here. So we'll have northerly winds for a fair portion of it. We've got a build-up of heat over the interior. As soon as the wind pushes that towards your spot, then yes, it is above average temperatures. Over in the southwest, that's where the heat was last week. And in last week's video, we looked at week 2 about that heat will push over to here and the cool air would come in. That is still a feature in through here. So cool in the southwest next week. It is hot in the east next week. That's what we're looking at there. Let's go through to now the new week 2, which begins on the 11th of November, and there is this in through here. So that is some connection to tropical moisture coming down through these parts. Could it move into the southwest? It's not quite making it to the coast in this particular image, which was the one that was done last night. But this is something to keep an eye on, that we could have a big system that is moving through, a connection to that tropical moisture. Also, northeast New South Wales, southeast Queensland, but extending a fair way inland. We're looking at active weather in through these parts here, but the southeast missing out in week 2. In terms of temperature, and to do with that one, right, so this is where we're missing out on that wet weather. So we've got those above average normalities there in terms of temperature. This is the cooler thanks to that activity in southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales, and this is our next system that is developing over in the west. So cool under where that activity is, but in the dry slot that's in the middle, that's where the warm air is likely to be. That is in week 2, which begins on the 11th of November. Let's have a look at the Madden-Julian oscillation, the MJO. This is our pulse of tropical moisture. It moves around the globe. When it's in the Australia zone, which is our green part here, that's when we're more likely to see that connection into that tropical moisture. We have had it for the past couple of weeks, so that did help us out. It has now moved out of that zone. The southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales, that's fed by the Pacific Ocean and the Tasman Sea being warmer than average, not that MJO as it comes through to the far tropics to our north. Here we are about to move into the brown zone, and it's a strong one. It's away from the centre here. It's all the way out through here. So this is why at the moment we're really struggling to get that connection down into the south. So tropical connection, not our friend at the moment. As we move to the end of that last week of November, it starts to weaken off, and then it's likely to go in through here. So at the moment, not coming back to the green, so not really, really good connection, but at the moment, really bad connection, but that may weaken as we move into week 2. Okay, having a look at sea surface temperature anomalies, the first thing you'll notice is over here on the Indian Ocean, all of that blue has completely disappeared. So it is our warm oranges there, yellow to orange, but it is also offset by incredibly strong warmer tones that is on the other side of the basin. So we do still have a bit of a dipole, but the blues that were in here have now disappeared. Let's have a look at that on the Indian Ocean graph here. So here we are in what is a negative Indian Ocean dipole. If it lasts 8 weeks, then it is officially classified that. There is not a strong push for it. It's very, very late in the season. In fact, I will stop showing this one too because it becomes pretty much irrelevant in terms of what the weather is doing. The monsoon takes over instead. So yes, we're almost officially a negative IOD, but it isn't having a huge impact. All right, so that's the Indian Ocean, so we don't really worry about that moving forward. Let's have a look at the Pacific, which is much more important as we go into summer. So we've got our blues that have increased a little bit there. We've got all of our warm yellows that are off the coast. Here's our incredibly warm Tasman Sea. Again, it's been like that for several years now. So that is a source of moisture, and this is a source of moisture. This is still a source of moisture because there is just so much moisture available because the top of the oceans are so much warmer than average. All right, having a look at the Pacific. Here we have, and in the last week, we have gone down even one more. Now, these two models are still holding out, but you'll see the Australian model has come a little bit closer. We are already down here. 1, 2 models go right across that threshold. They are expecting La Niña. 1, 2, 3 models, they go very close to it. This is the Australian threshold. The US threshold is up in through here, so that's 3 models that they will count as being officially a La Niña. So that's the majority of models that are going into that. The atmosphere itself, so this describes what's happening on the actual surface, what the moisture source is. The actual atmosphere corresponding and getting driven by what's happening on the surface, that hasn't happened yet. We're suggesting that maybe this will be a weak one as it comes through, but we are likely to cross that threshold. It might not be the Australian hard threshold, but it will definitely be the US one. We are heading into probably a weak La Niña. We're not seeing it happening in the atmosphere yet, but the ocean is heading there. Okay, let's have a look at a whip around the country and what we're expecting over the next couple of days. We'll start in Brisbane. So this is pretty much southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales that I'll be talking about here. We've got our sunshine, we've got our warmth, we've got our trough in the area, we've got a feed of moisture that's coming in from the Pacific and the Tasman Sea. We've got energy that is just moving up the coast. All of that comes together to produce hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. There's some pretty severe characteristics that are in behind this one. So if you have a storm directly overhead, it can bring some problems. They can be heavy rainfall leading to flash flooding, large hailstones, damaging wind gusts, and there is a slight possibility of a tornado. You couldn't rule it out. In terms of when the wet weather is there, it is in the mid to late afternoon and may continue into the evening. So that's what we're looking at for today. Let's head into Saturday. Very different. Temperatures aren't as warm. We've got grey, murky cloud during the morning. All of that stuff that is on the New South Wales coast at the moment now is going to make it up into southeast Queensland. You can see it with the wind direction coming in from the southeast. So yes, there is wet weather there, but it's very different to what we have today. This is heavy showers and thunderstorms. This here is nuisance wet weather. It is the showers that stream in and don't really add up to very much and have the murky cloud that goes with it and the cooler temperatures too. So that's for Saturday. Heading into Sunday, we've still got a little bit of that activity. It clears out to sunshine during the afternoon. That's for Sunday. On Monday, we are back up to about 30. There's lots of sunshine there, just some high cloud that's coming through. And moving into Tuesday, we might get our next burst of showers and thunderstorms later on when that comes in. So that's for Brisbane. Let's have a look here at Sydney. We are in the grey murky zone, so we've got southeasterly winds. There's light showers moving through. Light, meaning you'll certainly know about them if you're underneath them, but they don't add up to much in the rain gauge. So murky sky, showers passing through. That's for today and the cooler weather that goes with that. Continuing into tomorrow, most of that wet weather is tonight into the early hours of tomorrow morning, and this one's got 20, 40, so 2 models that like that activity continue during the day tomorrow. Again, grey skies, and certainly not a warm one for Sydney. Into Sunday, temperatures jump up, all of that murky cloud disappears, so there's lots of sunshine. This here is just high cloud, so it lets lots of sunlight through. As we get there, the winds will turn northerly to northwesterly, temperatures jump up. There's just one model that likes some activity as we move into Sunday night. Into Monday, there's a second one that joins it, but we're back down into those southeasterly winds. We've got that murky cloud, and we've got showers passing through that don't add up too much. Right, so that's as we move into early next week for Sydney. Let's head into Melbourne. We've got the cloud here, this murky grey cloud that can produce the odd light shower. That should clear early to mid-afternoon. Bright sunshine will return. We saw that cold front move through. It's got some chilly air in behind it. The sun comes out, but it doesn't warm up, and it'll feel pretty chilly in those winds if you're out there this afternoon. So sunshine is returning, but temperatures are not rising. Heading to Saturday, temperatures jump up. We've got northerly winds, so it's a very quick change going from about 16, 17 to 27 or 26, 27 tomorrow afternoon. So a 10-degree jump up as we move into Saturday. This here is just high cloud. The winds are northerly. They do become, the gusts are strong in the afternoon. Heading to the races, put extra pins in your hat. We're looking at that sort of activity for Saturday. So that is a warm one. Moving into Sunday, look how warm it is during those nighttime hours in the low 20s. That's thanks to cloud increasing. We've got our northerly winds blowing. They should be quite strong as we move through Sunday morning. So that'll be a severe weather warning for damaging winds moving in through there. In terms of wet weather, it comes through on Sunday morning. It clears to sunshine in the afternoon, but that is the cool change. And by the afternoon, about 21, it'll feel like the high teens thanks to that southerly wind that is in behind it. So cool change comes through on Sunday. So that means our next murky day is Monday. There's just the odd light shower. It doesn't add up to very much. There's a fair bit of cloud around. This is good timing because the next nice day is Cup Day Tuesday, about 24, 25. Bright sunshine, lovely. Moving into Wednesday, I want to show you how different the models are in terms of not working out the timing of the next changes that are coming through. So this here is representative of pretty much southeastern Australia. Here we have on Wednesday all of these like hot weather. 1, 2, 3, 4 models, all going into the low 30s in Melbourne. So big temperature jump up. We've got our northerly winds. We can see that there. We're likely to have severe weather warning for damaging winds. So it's a gusty one on Wednesday. That is very warm. So that comes through. We're likely 1, 2, 3 models have the cool change coming in on Wednesday night. Now let me jump through to Thursday here. How different could that possibly be? So this is our global weather guidance, and I always talk about you want a consensus of what all those models are suggesting when you have higher confidence in what the outcome is. This here has 3 weather models that have had the cool change move through and a mild day on Thursday. This outlier here, which is the USA model, that one has now been doing it for 3 model runs. That one is 39 degrees on Thursday afternoon. At the same time, the Canadian model is 13 degrees. Yes, you heard that correct, 39 and 13. The guidance could not be more further apart. So that means the confidence in what is happening on Thursday is very, very low indeed. We know that there might be that slight connection to tropical moisture. 1, 2 models have it here and have some pretty decent falls. But it's only 2 of the models that like it. Not all of them are on board. And one of them here thinks it is still warm until later Thursday. So then when you move into Friday, all of them now have that cool change through. So the timing of that bit of wet weather that we could get, but also the hot going to cold is not set yet. We want all 4 models to jump on board to be showing something that is slightly similar before we have that confidence. What does that mean for Adelaide? Here we are today. There's bright sunshine. There's a high just to the south. There's barely a cloud in the sky, and we're in the low to mid 20s. Lovely. There's not even any wind concerns or southeasterly around that high. Heading into Saturday, temperatures jump up. We end up with our northerly wind. We've got that pool of heat over the desert to the north. It blows straight down into Adelaide. So that's the hot day for Saturday. The cool change comes through around midnight. So on Sunday, temperatures are back down low again, but only 1 model has any wet weather with this one coming through, and it does not add up to much. So there's a wind change. That's what we'll feel there in the middle of the night. And so then we are not as hot as we go through Sunday. Heading into Monday, temperatures are mild. Heading into Tuesday, that's that next jump up in temperature. Now, interesting, here is that USA model again, lagging behind the other ones. The Australian model, we are in Adelaide, that's always the warmest, so that one's all moving up. So 3 of them doing the same thing. But so that's Tuesday, and on Wednesday, there we go. The USA model catches up. This one still has the heat before a cool change. So most of these are suggesting that cool change comes through during the middle of the day on Wednesday. But still, we've got that outlier from the USA model. The timing is not set yet. Okay, heading into Perth. In terms of wet weather, not a lot, but let's have a look at the temperature. We have had our heat this week. That was the warm part of the country as we moved through the week we've just been, and now it's moving into cooler zones. So we're about 27 today, but the rest of them are around that 20 or low 20s mark. So here we are Friday, moving into Saturday. That's when the next burst of wet weather comes through. It's in the early hours of the morning. There's not much as we go into the day, about 22. The cloud gets less as it goes on. Heading to Sunday, generally dry. It is mild. There's a fair bit of sunshine. Monday, dry, mild, fair bit of sunshine. Tuesday, that's when our next burst of wet weather comes through, but all of these are on the cool side. We've had the heat this week. Next week is the cool one for Perth. That's it from me. As always, head to jamesweather.com for the latest.